Hello and welcome to 2D Talk. I'm Jayse.
I'm Mark.
And today we're going to be talking about Daddies Home 2, starring Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, John Lithgow, Linda Cardellini, John Cena, Mel Gibson, and directed by Shawn Anders.
So, shall we address the elephant in the room?
Mel Gibson.
Yes.
Has Hollywood forgiven him? It feels like they have.
I think
really.
Behind the camera, I think definitely forgiven. I don't want to say I've forgiven him, but he has put out a lot of very good film when he's behind the camera.
He has. Passion of the Christ and Apocalypto and
Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge, yes, thank you very much. Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge, can't forget that one. I can't say I've forgiven him, but he didn't detract. Like he wasn't something that bothered me through the movie. Yeah. He was actually quite funny, to be fair. I think his character actually made it distracted from the man that he is.
Yeah, I mean, when he first came on screen, I think I did feel a little bit tense because it's the first time I've properly seen him on screen since a lot of his comments. I just wasn't sure how he was going to react, how he was going to come across. But we're going to discuss him more in detail when we discuss all the characters and actors. But I think for the most part he has been maybe not forgiven, but I think enough time has elapsed for him to kind of let him get back. Especially with all the recent events with Weinstein, that's the main focus, all the controversy. I think he's been. I think this has given him probably a little bit of room, maybe.
It's given him breathing room, hasn't it? Yeah. But I thought it was pretty good. So basically, this movie is basically having finally gotten to a situation where they can coexist. Brad and Dusty, played by Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, they must now deal with their intrusive fathers during the holidays. What did you think? What did you think about it?
Overall, I thought it was pretty funny. Because I'm always a bit sceptical when I'm going to sequels, especially these types of comedies, because they can fall a little bit flat. Not saying anything about Bad Mums, too.
We'll get to that.
But overall, I enjoyed it. It was pretty funny. There were quite a few laugh-out moments. I mean, I would have liked more, but I mean, it was quite amusing for the most part.
I think, as far as being funny, I think, unlike other movies, I think this had a lot of funny bits that weren't in the trailer. And I really, really liked that. And yeah, we can talk about Bad Moms, really, because Bad Moms had a lot of the really funny bits in the trailer, whereas this did not. And I really enjoyed that. I think the little girl was very funny as well. Fantastic actress. Little actress, yeah, she was great.
Because I think with Bad Moms, one of the problems was it had a lot of characters in them, but a lot of the characters didn't have enough time dedicated to them to give them proper funny jokes. But in this, I mean... So Will Ferrell definitely did, Mark Wahlberg definitely did, John Lithgow definitely did, Mel Gibson did, even the kids had funny parts as well, and it just felt a lot more kind of so coherent like that, whereas Bad Mums, I didn't feel that every character had solid, funny moments dedicated to them. They just felt like a bit thrown in there. So I think that was kind of well developed from that point.
Yeah, I think there was more angst. There was more angst in Bad Moms than there was in this. I think this was just more dealing with your fathers, but in a more comical way, as opposed to dealing with your father, or dealing with your mothers in a more just dramatic way, in a comedy that you just want to go watch a comedy. You don't want to have to deal with that. You know, this was much better, and it gave me the Christmas feeling, which was fantastic. I don't know, maybe because it had a lot more snow. I don't know, but it just gave me a really good Christmas feeling. And the third act as well. Absolutely brilliant, beautiful music in it that they used, Christmassy music and stuff, and the situation that they're stuck in. I thought it was a really, really good movie. Will Ferrell, normally I'm hit and miss with Will Ferrell, but I really enjoyed him in this. I thought he was really funny. His ad-libs, his off-the-cuff humour, I thought it was really good. Mark Wahlberg, always a fan of Mark Wahlberg, and I think he did a really good job here dealing with his wife's or his girlfriend's daughter, who he was a stepfather to. I thought their chemistry together was quite good as well. John Lithgow was a hilarious dad, and every interaction between John Lithgow and Will Ferrell, whenever Dusty, Mark Wahlberg, and Mel Gibson's character were together, whenever they saw them interact, they looked at each other, and sometimes they looked at each other like, oh my god, is this what they do? Or sometimes looked at each other in the lane, we wish we had that kind of relationship. And I thought that was really good as well. And obviously a small role from John Cena, which was brilliant. Yeah, it's good. I like seeing John Cena on screen. I want to see more of John Cena.
So for me, Will Ferrell, I mean, just his typical comedy, really, isn't it? This is kind of his bread and butter and what he's really good at.
Yeah.
I'm a fair fan of a lot of his stuff, especially Anchorman, for example. That's one of my. It's a really good comedy film. Mark Wahlberg, you know what you expect with Mark Wahlberg, and I think he always tends to deliver.
He does, yes.
So it was funny, and again, like I've said before, they all had equally funny moments in their time, and there's also quite a bit of character development, especially compared to Bad Moms as well.
Yeah.
Especially with Mark Wahlberg and his father, and yeah, I mean both father and son groups had their issues that they were kind of working through, which is quite nice. Yeah. You know, John Lithgow, I only realised in this film, I've always been a fan of him, but I only realised, I think he's actually quite an underrated actor, because during the film, I thought he's been in everything I've seen him in, he's always been really good.
Yeah.
Not just comedy, but serious things like The Crown, for example, where he played Winston Churchill. He was fantastic.
Yeah, Third Rock from the Sun as well. He was fantastic in that.
Yeah, and I just realised, you know, I think he's actually pretty underrated, and I really enjoy watching him. He's more than just a silly character. In this, he was obviously just a silly character, but as an actor,
he's fantastic. Yeah, good. He's really, really good. Really good.
And if anybody hasn't seen him in The Crown, they should definitely spend some time watching him, because I think it's his first serious role that I've seen in him, I think, and he just does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he was. His comedy delivery was really good.
Yeah, comic timing. His comic timing, it was really, really good. Yeah,
it was fantastic. Bounce off Will Ferrell really well as well.
Yeah, he did.
And even Mel Gibson for that matter as well.
I mean, so to surmise this, I thought it was a fun, festive felt movie with a lot of funny bits in it, and Mel Gibson did not detract from what the movie is, and actually it's doing quite well in the box office as far as like staying power. So I think it was really good. What were your final thoughts on it, Mark?
Yeah, no, too dissimilar from yours actually. It was good fun. I think it's one of those good comedy films for Christmas. Obviously I know that's where it's aimed at, but unlike Bad Moms, which didn't do a very good job in that regard, I think this actually does do a very good job of that, because yeah, especially in the Act 3, it does give that warm, fuzzy feeling for Christmas. They actually went all out on that.
Yeah, they did.
To make that scene. So it was really good. Yeah. So I hope it does well in the box office.
Yeah.
And what do you think a little bit if they're going to do a third one, possibly?
I think they could do a third one for sure. Again, it could be for the great-grandparents. I mean, they'd still be alive. Yeah. These guys are in their 60s. There's no reason why we couldn't have them in the granddads in their 80s to 90s. Or they could do Papa's home, Grandpapa home as well. Maybe if they go somewhere. But it really is like you can only go so far with these ones.
Yeah, I was about to say they would have to do something a bit different with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell characters, because if you just do the same thing again, it feels a bit stale.
Yeah. So guys, what did you think? Did you like the movie? Are you going to go see the movie? And what are your thoughts about the comparison between this and Bad Moms?
Yep, and if you want to continue the conversation over at Twitter, you can find us at 2D Talk Show.
Yes, and please like, share, and subscribe, and check out our other videos as well, including that Bad Moms review. See you later, guys. Take care. Bye.
Bye.